Okay, so today let's talk some book recommendations. These are going to be the personal ones that I recommend for anybody that practices witchcraft um, or is on that type of path, pagan path, witchy path. So I'm going to quickly go through them. I'm going to tell a little bit about each of why I recommend things. And like I said, this is for everybody. No matter what level you're at, no matter how long you've been in, these are books that I would recommend to anyone and things that I think should be in every witch's bookshelf. Okay, Psychic Witch. This one is kind of self-explanatory. I mean, it really goes into detail about talking about energy, how that's used. He puts in a lot of the scientific as well as the mystical. It covers lots and lots and lots of topics. Going into things like the power of sight, meditation and relaxing, tuning in, and perceptions, all your clairs, talks about the soul, talks about the higher self, and just all kinds of information. It's a really packed book. It's got lots of exercises in it, and it's great, especially if you have not done a lot of energy work, if you have not really dived into the science behind energy and seen how that correlates with the mystical side of energy. This book should be in there. This book, Seder, The Gate is Open. Now, yes, this is very much a Northern Norse tradition, kind of a look at it, but whether that's yours or not, it doesn't really matter, for the simple fact that she really goes deep into talking about energy and weaving that energy. So here you're learning about energy and how to use it and the understanding of it. And here we're talking about how to weave that energy. Okay, these are 4 books from Lewellyn. They're a set. One is on water magic, one is on fire magic, one is on earth magic, one is on air magic. So very much elemental. They are pretty thick books. They've got a lot of content to them. No matter if you are just starting out and needing to learn more about elements and elemental magic, or even if you've been a long-term practitioner. I have been a practitioner for a really long time, and I love these because they go into different takes, they go into histories, they talk about different deities and different associations, they talk about different cultures and associations. Really, really good books that I highly, highly recommend. And I highly recommend you get them as a set. You can start with, whatever element you want to start with and work through it and get the next book, but I do highly recommend getting all of them at some point. Once you are done with them, the 4 elements of the wise, it goes deeper. So it goes more into practical working and those types of concepts, how to use them in different ways, how to combine them, how to blend them and mix them. So it is a very good book, and I kind of look at it as a complementary to the others. As far as witchcraft goes, this is probably one of my favorite books. I'm actually going to show you my 2 favorite books in this. This is one of them, and then the next one's going to be the other. The reason I love this book so much is because it really dives into different stories. He goes and he talks about different things other people have said, stories he's collected throughout the Ozarks, talking about history, talking about ancestors and how they did things, how they worked their magic. And there's a lot of concepts in here that make you think deeper, especially if you are looking at folk magic, ancestors. You want to know how magic was done versus how it's done today. Anything like that. This is an awesome book. And I really enjoyed it. I love the things it puts in, and it really makes you think. So it's not just reading this book, but going deeper and thinking about the different concepts of it. Thinking about how our ancestors and people before us, they didn't have witchy stores, and they didn't have a bunch of books, and they didn't have all these things. They used what they had on hand. They used what was around them in nature. They used what they could grow. So yeah, this absolutely one of my hands down favorite books I've ever read. And I am a book hound. I have read tons of information and tons of books on witchcraft and magic and spiritualism, and all day long, this book. So lastly is Utterly Wicked. I've already done a video. If you haven't seen it, it's on my YouTube about this book. But this book should be owned by every single practitioner, no matter what your practice is, because it gives you a deeper understanding of these concepts. It gives you a deeper understanding of hexes, curses, and all of the things that we consider baneful magic. And here's the thing. First of all, you need to know how it works. Whether you ever do any of that, that is completely up to you. And that is going to be, personal moral ethics sets, depending on what you do and how you do it. I'm not here to tell you that. This is about learning. And there is a bunch of things in here, and it's a pretty decent sized book. There is a bunch of things in here that you can also look at from a different perspective. So maybe you're not a baneful worker, and maybe that's never something you are ever going to want to travel down into. But there are ways that she uses the puppets and stuff, things that the way that she talks about the dirt. There are all kinds of ways to use this in the lighter side of magic too. And keeping that perspective and thinking about those things as you're reading this book is going to open up a whole new world for you in your magic and what you can do, especially in representational magic. So yeah, these are the books that I'm recommending. These are the things that I think every practitioner should have on their bookshelf. They're key books, and they will really help you no matter whether you've been doing this for a really long time, or whether you're just starting out, or maybe you're a mid-practitioner. Really doesn't matter. I think there are things in these books that you will find at least interesting and giving you different perspectives, if not giving you a ton of inspiration and different ideas. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day.